Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay, the number one source for competitive Legends of Runeterra news and information. If you're looking for the best decks to play right now, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Master Runeterra or in our Discord. And if you want to take the next step in leveling up your game, check out our Runeterra team on Patreon, where we do weekly learning calls and one-on-one coaching. Now strap in and grab yourself some Poro snacks, because we are about to start Mastering Runeterra.
Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay. We've got a fantastic show for you today. New patch, baby. Can't wait to dive into it. First up, though, just a little house cleaning items. First off, thank you to all of our patrons and all of our subscribers on the website. We couldn't do all the awesome stuff that we do without you guys, like having a website or a podcast or 3 podcasts. So seriously, thank you guys so much for supporting us. It means the world. With that said, just so you know, all of you patrons and subscribers now have tournaments to play in every single day, in case you didn't see my emails or my Discord posts or my tweets or what have you. We're holding tournaments every single day. You can find information on the website. You can find the links in the Discord. And if you are not currently a subscriber and you would like to play in some tournaments to practice for seasonals or just have some fun or win some money, then you can subscribe at masteringruneterra.com and also find all those tournament links in the Discord, all that good stuff. We had the first one yesterday, and it was won by, I forget who was actually,
yes,
you know
I have
who
it up
the
right
winner
here.
was?
Foretto of Pandex Esports.
That's right. Yeah, and what was their lineup?
Zoe Aphelios Vi, the PNZ one. Victor Lee Sin and Caitlin Ezreal Tribeam. So basically 3 of the decks I played the most last season. I was really excited looking at it.
A lineup after your heart. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, so one, I thought coming into the season that this lineup would be very good, because all of these decks were good and they didn't lose anything really, other than like they got hit by the bot thing a little bit. But like not a lot, right? And the decks that were good against them really got knocked down. Like Monoshirima, exactly. And I mean, the decks were already good. Like these were already good decks that you were playing in tournaments and were doing well with. And so I'm not surprised at all to see this lineup do well. And I'm almost like a little bit concerned about it. I'm trying to figure out if I should just jump on this bandwagon and just be jamming these decks for the next 2.5 weeks, or if I should be trying to find something like a little bit more middle of the road, maybe something with rallies, perhaps. I'm not sure. Let's dive into these decks real quick, though. The Zoe Aphelios Vi, I noticed, had a veiled temple.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
I actually like one. I think one's fine. If you, especially since like you don't need to like balls to the wall aggro now that Shurima's not like king of the hill anymore. The problem with playing like PNZ Aphelios, this is ladder, right? Tournament, you would just ban it. But like on ladder, you couldn't play the temple because you'd have to kill them by turn 6. So you need to get your like boom baboons into your flame chompers. You'd be pushing tons of damage, like, and then you need to be burning them out. You just didn't have time for temple. But I think the format's going to slow down about a turn or two, and then temple kind of shines there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, moving on to Victor Lee Sin. So all of these decks play. Oh, sorry, Caitlin Ezreal doesn't play bot anymore, or never played bot. So yeah, talk to me real quick about the bot as we go now to the Victor Lee Sin. This one has no. Oh, it's still playing the 2 ambushes. Doesn't care the 3 mana. Like you played it on turn like 6 or 7 or 8 or something, right, to kill them. So it makes sense that the extra mana doesn't matter very much in this deck. How much does the loss of the point of power hurt here? In these decks?
Basically, it hurts mostly on defense. So like if you're being raced, you know, you're playing against like pirates or something, or spiders, then like losing the point hurts. If you're trying to get offensive, it honestly doesn't really hurt much, because you're either hitting bot for 1 or you're hitting bot for like 10, right? You're often not chipping in for like 3 super often, especially against the decks where it matters. So I don't think it hurts a ton. Something to note, this first place, like the first place lists are basically the decks that were really good, that didn't lose much, into the patch, because this was day one, right? Like the patch released and the tournament was that day.
Yeah, no one had time to brew anything new.
I think today and tomorrow you'll see more interesting stuff. But
yeah, and I think you'll start seeing some stuff rise up too, because there's definitely going to be some things like I think Udyr might actually even see a decent amount of play now. I think people are sleeping on Udyr. I don't like Udyr or anything, but I think it's impressed me when I played against it. I went from haha, you're playing Udyr, I must win, right?
To it's gonna beat me up.
And then all of a sudden, stuff started.
I think when the 6-mana card, the one they changed, Allseer, Hirasa, or whatever, I think when that bug gets fixed, because currently it does not discount all the thingamajiggies, but once it does, then maybe we got something there.
Yeah, there are a lot of bugs currently. Hey, did you see the long list?
It's so bad. Yeah, it's so buggy.
There's so many.
I expect that to get fixed or ironed out in the next day or two, but still, there's so many bugs right now.
And then the tree just didn't even get changed.
Get nerfed. Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
What? What is happening? A small indie company, bro.
Yeah.
What? How does that happen? I'm not a dev. I don't know, but seems strange, right? Some bugs. Bugs okay. Bugs are to be expected, especially with the big rules change. Right? That I understand. But one of the cards just not getting changed like it was supposed to? Do you think maybe I don't know, they just couldn't code it in time and they were like, well, we gotta get the patch out. So I guess
no idea.
This is happening now. Yeah. I don't know. Because they do have to submit it 2 weeks early, apparently, because of the way that Apple works. Yeah. Which is hella really annoying, by the way, Apple. Get your shit together. Yeah, super weird. It's really messing up gaming.
But there's so many bugs. It's kind of ridiculous. I do expect them to get kind of ironed out over the next couple days, though. Second place.
Yeah, they're typically pretty good.
The second place lists are also very interesting. We have.
Hold on, real quick. Let's touch on that Caitlyn Ezreal, because I know you were pretty high on Caitlyn Ezreal last season,
except for Monostrima. And that was bad. That matchup sucked.
Yeah, the buff to Caitlyn has been chef's kiss for that deck. One? Yeah. If you have not played, the updated, now it's the flash bombs go in the top 8 cards, makes a huge difference. So if you've not played with or against Caitlyn since that buff, go do it.
Feels nice.
That's a big one. What do you think of the 2 aloof travelers in Caitlyn?
Pretty good. Aloof is never bad, right? You're never oh my god, aloof. It's always a good card. It's
I like it actually quite a bit, and I feel there's been matchups where I thought Caitlyn Ezreal would be a good matchup for my deck, and Aloof Traveler just kind of ripped me up.
Playing the Arsenal in your
just didn't work.
Zillion, your Zillion,
all kinds of stuff. Even Pantheon, and they just boinked my Pantheon, and was what?
Damn it! Yeah, no. Aloof it's a nice catch-all. You hit the star shaping or star shaping cards out of Aphelios. That's good.
Can you believe it used to be a 3/4?
Yeah, that card was kind of busted. And we said it was
we knew it was busted. We knew it was busted, and we played it a lot. But looking back, we should have played it a lot.
We probably should have played it more. But I feel I don't think anyone on the planet played Aloof Travelers more than the Mastering Runeterra team. Every single time we played a deck, we went, "What if we put 3 Aloof Travelers in there?" That was just what we did for every single deck.
Yeah, it just made everything better. Okay, so the next lineup is pretty spicy. What do we got?
Deck 1 is basically Dresbo Pile. So it's kind of like Victor Lee, but instead of 3 Victor, 3 Lee, it's 3 Victor, 1 Heimer, 1 Lee, 1 Vi, and a lot of other fun 1-ups. You have Sub Percival, Scattered Pod, new 2 Scales of the Dragon. That card's really good. Now because of the new Focus Speed Dragon's Protection. And then a bunch of other crazy 1-ups like Dawn and Dusk, Dragon's Rage, Give It All. It's a more controlling version. It's weird to play against if you're never played against it, and also if it's not open list, you have no idea what's going on. They could have anything, man. The first time you get Dragon's Raged, you're what's going on?
Oh bro, Dragon's Rage, Give It All, Dawn to Dusk, they memory cloak you. Heimerdinger just goes off. I've let Heimerdinger live like a couple times to my
You
own
always
detriment,
lose, yeah.
and it's just gone off, and I died, and that was a big
Yep.
mistake. If you see Heimerdinger out of this deck, just kill it. Just absolutely kill it. The value that it produces is just insane. Especially now
with the
right?
new changes.
It's like it's even better now. Okay, so what do you think then? I mean, like, bro, when you look at this deck, we got 1 Death Ray, we got 2 Chempunk Pickpock, we got 2 Scales. Oh, yeah, is it Chempunk? That makes more sense. 2 Scales of the Dragon, 1 Submersible, 1 Scatterpod, like we mentioned, 1 Dawn and Dust, 1 Dragon's Rage, 1 Give It All. Do you think this deck has benefits over the straight Victor Lee Sin that we saw in the winners lineup?
Yeah, like you have a lot more back row pressure, which is like one thing. This version plays Will of Ionia, and I believe the standard like Victor Lee does not, which comes up in like mirror matches and some other matches. You are like a tad bit bigger, a little bit more controlling. Some of the like sometimes with like Victor Lee, you get a Lee, but like he doesn't really do much, right? He just like kicks something. That's kind of all he does in that deck. But like with this deck, like you're saying, you go, okay, Heimerdinger, and like all of a sudden he takes over the game. And so like, are there benefits? Yeah. Are there detriments? Yeah. Sometimes you draw Give It All against Pirates and you die. But like we'll have to see. I think something in the middle is probably the best option.
Yeah, like I actually kind of like the pile.
So
I like the Victor Heimer Leeson vibe. It's a lot of fun. But some of these numbers, like the pickpocket,
Which you don't like the 1 Give It All?
The 1 Death Ray.
Death Ray's
no,
there's no Mystic
Give It All's great, man. You can't get the Give It All.
Oh my God, there's no Mystic Shots. So the original list ran 2 copies of Death Ray, 0 Mystic Shots.
Yeah. No Mystic Shots.
This one looks to just trade with Chempunk Pickpocket and Scales of the Dragon mostly instead of Mystic Shots.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, it says Nexus Strike, create in hand an exact copy of a random spell from the enemy's deck. Why are we playing this card?
Forces trades.
Is there nothing better that trades? Is there no better 3/2 for 2 that does something?
Really? I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good because like you play it and like you just have to block it.
Yeah, I've definitely been in spots where I was like, oh, I have to block this.
I really don't want to, but I have to. Yeah, and then Scales of the Dragon's kind of the same way. It trades, but like the burst, the focus speed plus O+3 that grants is like super decent.
Kind of
card does not suck.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to put some time in it because I love that deck. Okay, the next deck in this lineup is Kennen Ari Absolver, my old baby. But this version is a little more aggressive. It's got 2 Shadow Assassin, 1 God Will Seedling, and no copies of what's the 6-drop? Sign-in. No sign-ins. Doesn't want to grind, just wants to beat face.
Got Blade Twirlers, which is like really good, actually.
1 retreat.
Honestly, surprised to see it move towards the Blade Twirler Absolver with Quicksands being in the format so heavily, but like I guess they're just not. They're not incredible. Like after you take out Sundisk, like there's not a ton of decks running Quicksand.
Yeah, there's not a bunch. They exist, but
nothing's jamming 3
in a tournament setting.
Talia Ziggs, maybe like that. Auction Silver runs like 1.
Zalia, I kind of like that.
Yes, my new deck. Happy to see Ari Kennen back. Disappointed in your lack of sign-in. It's my favorite card. It's probably my favorite follower in the entire game.
Yeah, me too. I think so. Other than like Tasty Fate,
of course. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Fizz Riven Papercraft Dragon Friendship deck. I don't hate this.
Yeah, so it's Fizz, Papercraft Dragon, Riven, Ruin Reckoner. So basically you pump stuff, get a free attack, kill people. I hate playing against this deck. I hate it so much.
This looks like a nightmare to deal with. It's
such a pain in the ass to deal with. Because like when they get the cards and they do the thing, you just die.
Well, I mean, again, Quicksand's now a thing, right? So Quicksand can stop Fizz. Whereas before, just nothing stopped Fizz, really.
The problem I've been having playing against it is like even if I Quicksand Fizz, my stuff usually aren't big enough to kill it because he still has +2/+2 and double strike.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
then they have all these pump spells, right? So you block it, and then there's like pump, kill your thing. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
try
like
again next turn.
so you click that. It's at least a 4 power quick attack. So you need something with like 5 toughness to jump in front of it, and then they need to not have a pump spell or a wallop or a friendship or a pokey stick. Yeah, asking a lot.
Yep.
Huh?
And just like,
Huh?
honestly, just like Fizz Elixir of Wrath Rune Reckoner is so gross. That's so much damage. It's like at least 10.
Yeah. So what? Why did we not see this version rise to prominence last season when there was all the like Riven Victor and
It
Drumbull
popped up a
and
bit.
all those
It
kind of
popped up a bit.
decks?
But like honestly, Poro Cannon was like everywhere. Decks were running Poro Cannon, Ambush, or they were running Quicksand. You only have so many Overwhelm cards. It's just 3 mites. And the swords, obviously. But like makes it a lot harder, right?
Yeah. To go Fizz, Papercraft, plus an Overwhelm.
And Quicksand might not like completely kill the deck, but like it is really bad for you. And Mono Shurima often just needed like one more turn. Just one more turn.
Dude, I love this deck.
Yeah.
Looking at this deck, like, oh my god.
I haven't played it.
This looks like a lot of fun. Ooh, Majid, I got a YouTube video for you, bro.
I might make one.
Here you go.
I might make one. The problem with YouTube videos like these is that everybody leaves after 10 minutes because you get the idea immediately.
Bruh, the video only needs to be 10 minutes long. Don't worry. Here's the deck. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. We're done.
I'm out of here. See you guys later.
Kill. Guy, Papercraft, next game. Guy, Papercraft, next game. Easy. Okay. Yeah, excited to see what transpires over the coming days of tournaments. Also, real quick, we have 2 $500 tournaments coming up. One from GG Tour on May 7th, and one, a special one. This is for Gamers for Josh, Gaming for Josh. I forget. It is a charity raising money for children with cancer. And that is going to be a single elimination tournament happening Friday the 13th. So right before seasonals. It's going to be single limb. Starts at like 5 p.m. Pacific, I want to say. And don't quote me on that. Go look at the actual website. And it's going to be some great last minute testing. Those ones are free to enter, by the way. Those 2 $500 sponsored tournaments. But yeah, so many tournaments. And like on the one hand, I'm super excited to be playing all of them and like get some reps in. But on the other hand, I'm like, probably could have got some tech in this 2.5 weeks. Now everyone else could have all good info.
I definitely couldn't have.
I actually can't. I'm super busy right now.
Well, even if you gave me like 2 weeks of like my only job is to figure out what the best decks are, like I couldn't do it.
What? You don't think you'd be able to figure that out?
Play it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay, so you mean 2 weeks since we saw the patch? Is that what you're referring to?
I mean, since yesterday. If you had from yesterday until seasonals.
2 weeks, 2 seasonals. Find some sick. Oh yeah, of course I could. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the? It's like you're really downplaying your skills here.
I thought you were talking about like since we saw the patch, and I was like, no, I rely so heavily on like feel when I play games like this.
Oh, from
that,
way
like,
back.
If I can't,
I was like, how long does it take you to type, "Hey, what am I? What are the best decks?" Like,
hey, what am I? What are the best decks? Cut the 3 most expensive cards, and you got a good deck.
The classic. You know, we've really learned how to work together as a team, which I really enjoy. Okay, so now that we've seen a little bit of, we're recording this on Thursday morning. So we've had like 24 hours to see the ladder. I'm interested to get your thoughts on, maybe what you've played against, what has maybe jumped out at you as being good or not good or anything.
Ezreal feels good, but like I'm gonna go out with a bit of a hot take. I don't think he's busted. I think he's fine. He's good. He's better, which is good. I like Ezreal. But like, I don't know. Everyone's just sitting around waiting for like.
Remember that fucking Ezreal play that we saw before this buff?
Yeah. No,
me neither. He saw almost zero play, right?
Tribune because like he's pretty good there, I guess.
Yeah, he's just slot him in.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's just sitting there. Everyone's sitting, waiting, holding their breath for like Ezreal to break the format. Like they're all like, "There's a broken Ezreal deck out there," and like I don't think there is. I think maybe there's a tier 1.
Takeda.
It's probably a tier 1 Ezreal deck, but I don't think it's gonna like break the format. I think honestly, all the doomsayers for like the cast play changes, like it's really not as big a deal as you like think it is originally.
No.
is it a big deal? Oh yeah, and there's gonna be something that's like a little too good, I think.
People have been going off on a lot of us content creators for not being like on Riot for these changes and like trying to be like Riot suck ups.
Yeah.
Me? Are you fucking kidding? If anyone has like flirted with getting LPP taken away from them, it's me. Maybe Mo.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
me.
say, I don't know, dude.
I'm saying I'm pretty critical. And the thing is, I've been through this fucking rodeo before. I've done this with Magic many times and been like, "What are you guys thinking?" And then been like,
for
"Oh,
game changes, not for anything else. For everything else, you're like,
yeah.
"What are you thinking?" And it's worse than you thought.
And then it just keeps. I'm dipping my toes back in to Magic, and I made the mistake of looking at Magic Twitter yesterday. It was like, nope. Opened it up. I was like, I was like, oh, close. That
was a bad day for Magic Twitter right here.
So bad.
But yeah, like the game changes are fine. In my professional opinion, there's gonna be something's gonna be too good. It's gonna get nerfed. Whatever.
I enjoy it. Let's talk about so the Ezreal first off.
Fine.
I think it's totally fine. I think these buffs are nothing's broken. And even if they were broken, they could just unbreak them.
The Ezreal Swain interaction is tight. It's sick. It's gonna get you. Have you seen it?
I don't know what that is.
So if I have leveled Ezreal and leveled Swain on the stack, and I like Caitlyn shot one of your guys, right? Ezreal immediately triggers, stunning one of your units because of Swain, and I can open attack. So I can stun your unit and open attack with Swain, like open attack with the board, just by putting something on the stack, and you can't block it.
So is it like when you attack plus cast a spell?
Yeah, exactly. You know how you like attack with Senna and you cast Darkness? Like that. You do that.
And then normally they would be able to block.
But now Ezreal immediately activates and Swain stuns, which is kind of sick. I played a video for it, and like it happens, but like how often does it really happen? And like how often do you have both leveled champs on the board and you're not already winning?
Exactly. It's just different. Like there used to be things that you could like get people that were the other way, and now you can get people some things this way. Don't think it's that big of a deal. Don't think Ezreal's that big. I'm loving the pass button. The new pass button looks beautiful and sweet, and like I don't know. Now I feel like I always know like sort of whose priority it is and whose turn it is and where things are happening. I think the quality of life improvements have been great.
I like that it says commit.
I've played some games.
Okay. I kind of like that. I don't like all the swords telling me when I can attack, but I think like honestly, along with every single like UI update I don't like, in 30 more hours I will not notice them.
I already don't notice them. When my first game I was like, that's stupid, and like by the end of the day I forgot they were there until you said it actually. And then burst passing, I've enjoyed it. I was playing against an opponent, and they were like, play burst spell. Still had like 4 mana or whatever, and I only had 3 mana, and I was like, I'm just gonna end the turn here because it's good for me and I get to bake my mana. And I was like, I wonder if they knew or they didn't know, but it didn't really matter. It wasn't like a huge deal. I just went to my turn, and I was like, feels nice. Keeps the game fucking moving along so much better. Oh my god. So much passing before, so much passing, like just clicking OK a million fucking times. It feels like games are really moving along much smoother now, and which I think is
it gives
huge.
The priority system a lot more weight. Everything you do has a lot more like weight, right? Because it passes priority back to your opponent, or like you said, they can just end your turn. So like what you do, what you choose to do, and what you choose to not do matters so much more, which is really nice. And then I got so much flack like over the last year or whatever for like never burst passing or like I would do a burst pass thing and then play what I would play anyway, and they'd be like, isn't burst passing so much better here? And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to wait 30 seconds. So like I'm just gonna play my thing. I'm just lazy. I don't want to deal with it.
Also, like you have 12 mana, they have 12 mana, you're like, cast a gem.
Just gonna play my thing.
Like what do you think they're doing?
Just gonna play my thing. I don't really care.
And it's just it's different. All it is different. Right? There's going to be winners and losers in any sort of change. There's going to be situations that are better or worse for different people or different decks or different scenarios. It's just different. And the quality of life that it brings by moving the fucking game along cannot be understated.
And like I struggle to find any beneficial thing this removes. Not something that would be good for you at some point, right? Like some people are like, what if you're running low on clock and you cast a burst speed spell to reset the clock? It's like, okay, that might be good for you sometimes. That's not beneficial for the game in any way, shape, or form, right? Like removing that is not a negative at all. It moves the game along. It's a better spectator experience. It's better for players.
I bet you games are totally not going to time nearly as fucking often now.
I mean,
because now you're not passing back and forth and waiting for the counter to go down every single time. Yeah, this probably
burst pass. It'll be a minute. But yeah, like I struggle to find anything negative with removing burst passing. I think it's like a home run.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only argument is that there was a ability to like get people sometimes, and so you can't do that anymore. It did give an advantage to decks with burst spells. You got an advantage. So the good example was someone made it was like with thralls. If your opponent has like 2 units out and a bunch of mana, you don't want to avalanche right then. You can like play a burst spell, pass to them, and now their choice is develop or pass back to you. And if they pass back to you, you could just end the turn and you're totally fine with them skipping their turn and only 2 units in play, right? So there are scenarios like that. And I think, though, that honestly, it gave an unfair advantage to decks that had burst spells. And it's one of the reasons that we saw complicated decks, control decks, combo decks with very high ceilings that played a lot of spells tend to do very well because they kind of had this extra edge baked in that I'm kind of happy they don't now, and it's leveled the playing field a little more, that we can see like maybe aggro come back, and like that kind of makes everything sort of like move around. Now you can see hardcore control come back and like mid range, and everything moves. So that's why I'm happy about it.
I mean, we're gonna have to see. Perhaps there's something that I missed, and like that would suck. But honestly, I think you're right. I think it's just different. But I mentioned this before. I played Artifact a lot, loved Artifact, and the priority system was way more weighted than it is in Runeterra, if that makes sense. Like what do you mean? Okay, so like passing and like casting your cards, you had to really like purposefully do it, because if you fuck up the priority system, they're gonna kill you. Like they're just gonna beat you. And so it feels like it's gonna move it closer to that. And that was like one of my favorite parts of Artifact was like the jockeying for position. And like because and burst pass kind of like cheats that system, right?
Exactly.
And so I like this.
Yeah. One other thing that I guess you and I and some others that were in the roundtable had was that they announced this, and a lot of people, even myself included, were like, "Oh, what?" Yeah. And then Ruben had to be like, "Look, I've been testing this for months. Trust me, and also give it a chance. We found that it really doesn't seem to make a huge difference, and then overall, it's a positive." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And I mean, we were just like, "Oh, okay." But like, he made a compelling argument for it, and he was like, "Look, we're not just doing this willy-nilly. We've been working on it for a long time, and I'm telling you that like I don't even notice anymore, and I think it's better." And like, he's a very high-level player, right? Like, he's much better than I am. So I'm like, if he's saying that, and he likes to play decks that have burst spells and stuff. So it made a lot of sense. And again, going back to the Magic thing, like I've seen this happen. I was not surprised. And so far, I think it's a net positive. It'll be nice to see seasonals roll around or big tournaments and see how the timing goes with like rounds and people going to time and like stuff. Yeah, because I bet you it's cut down so much now. There's like a lot less passing back and forth. It's a lot less time off the clock.
I did think of one thing that sucks, and it sucks pretty bad.
Okay.
I can't go Dusk Petal thing from Lunari Dustbringer, the 1-drop. I can't cast the thing and then end the turn, because I would do that a lot when I couldn't do anything, but I didn't want my opponent to do anything. I would cast the Dusk Petal does, and they pass back waiting for me to play a Felios or something. And then I just end the turn.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the other one though. Making all casts into plays, that changes a lot of things, and And so that one I can understand people being upset about. Totally. I will, and it does make some things a lot better that perhaps people don't want to, like Heimer or Ezreal. And it feels kind of bad if you're on the side of not those cards and they play some spells, or you go to kill it, they play a bunch of spells, or vis-a-vis, and they get a bunch of things from it. But yet another thing from Magic that I learned is that people like to do the thing. And so like what we want as content creators and like, pro freaking LOR content creator players, we want the game to grow and be prosperous and more people come in. And one of the really nice things about this change is that you don't get denied doing your thing. If you're a new player and you make a Heimerdinger deck and you're like, yes, cast my like big spell to get my big turret from my Heimer, and they're like, boom, kill it in response. And you're like, nope, didn't get to do it. Okay, next game, same thing. And they're like, nope, kill it in response. And you're like, fuck this. But if you still get, they kill your Heimer, which kind of sucks, but you still get your turret, you still feel it's a feel good.
It feels so much better.
It feels good. You got to do the thing that you wanted to do. And that is a huge thing in Magic that has come up time and time again, that people want to play the game surprisingly. Yep. They don't want their mana to be taxed. They don't want their cards to be countered. They don't want, which is basically what this is, right? When you're trying to activate your Heimer and they kill a response, they've countered what you're trying to do. And you just didn't get to do the thing. And so if you look at it from that standpoint, it's going to be much more enjoyable for a lot of people to play the game. And again, it's just a winner or loser thing. If you're on the Heimerdinger side, you just got if your opponent kills it, you just got the advantage. If you're on the other side, you got the disadvantage. So it's not, no one specifically wins or loses here. And overall, the game is better, which is important, because I don't know if you guys know, but LOR are not exactly kicking it off all the time these days.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like rocketing growth or anything. But like, I'm excited for this change, and I think this is the one that like I caught the most flack for, because I was like, I think this is a good change. People are like, what? Excuse me, come again. But like, after thinking about it for a long time, and now especially after playing with it, one, it changes a lot less than you think. Like, does it change a lot? Yeah, but like, it's really not like completely flipping the game upside down. Two, I think it opens up the avenue for a lot of interesting stuff in the future. You can print these cards with higher payoffs that will actually get to do the thing now. Like, I think that you could get really interesting with champion stuff. Yes, you could have technically made it so that like it happened on play, like Zoe, but then we have ones where it's like it's doing it with this card, but it's not doing it with Lux. Why? And it's weird.
Also confusing.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, it's easy to just read the card and be like, oh, we'll play and cast. And like, I didn't know. When I started playing, I didn't get it. I sat there and read Zoe.
Yeah.
And then I read Lux, because one was on my opponent's side of the field and I was playing Zoe, and I didn't get it. I didn't know. I was going to sit there and I was going to put something on the stack, and I was like, I don't know if this flips Zoe immediately or not.
Yeah, people take it for granted what they know currently to what they knew when they started.
And so, yeah, that happens. And then maybe we see reactionary spells become more powerful, because now you still get to do the thing, right? So like, it's kind of weighted back. Now you have more room. You can be more flexible with these reactionary spells. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do in the future. I think this was absolutely 100% not a decision made lightly. No. And I think they have some good plans for it in the future.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've been playing. Let's talk a little bit of decks on the ladder. I played a little Mono Shurima. Deck's still good. Yeah.
It's exactly what we expected, right?
Still good. Yeah, I will say it's more fair now, though. I think it's more like I think it's still tier 1. It might be low tier 1, but I think it's still there. The power's there, but it's or high tier 2. I don't know, whatever. It's right in there. It's right in the line, I feel like, with a lot of the other top decks. Caitlyn, Ezreal, Aphelios.
That matchup's still miserable, by the way.
The Victor
Caitlyn,
Karma decks
doesn't change anything. You still get stopped.
Dude, someone got me where I put shield on my Sun Disc, and they went the 3-drop, go get Scorched Earth, and then Scorched Earth again. And I was like,
they're also 6 mana down, right? Like you usually just kill them.
Yeah, they were. I don't know. They were able to
stabilize.
I wasn't putting out much of an offense. I don't know. Yeah. You know what it was? I remember now looking back at it. They had a big tri-beam for 7. I know, right? And that probably would have been a big difference.
That's a big one. Monostream is still good. I'm excited to see a lot more of these like later game decks, the control decks, the value decks kind of surface. Those are decks I enjoy playing. Now that Monostream's clock has been extended a couple turns. I was playing Heimer and Jace. Jace. That felt good. It felt fun. I got to sit there and like immediately get my Heimer turret. I got to flip Jace, like even if he got killed on stack. This is nice.
Yeah. I'm really liking the new patch. I've played a bunch of decks. I've played against a bunch of decks. Have you seen anything new? Any new brews or anything? I saw some Udyr decks running around that have like 60% win percentages or something.
Udyr,
it's early days. Who knows?
LeBlanc has been popping up.
Oh yeah, but LeBlanc is bugged, right?
He's bugged. Yeah,
I think
he's bugged pretty bad. A lot of new stuff, but like time will tell. You know what's actually good. I think time starting in the next like 2 days, basically. The first day is we just show up and try out all the new stuff and see what happens, especially because it's a system change. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah, there'll be some brewing. There'll be some brewing going on. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna call it a short one today. We both have a bunch of things we need to get doing, and there's
so long.
Ooh, I need to get my haircut too, actually. Okay, everyone. Well, it's pretty long. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy this new set of ours. Honestly, just lean into it. Find the fun. Seriously, it's good stuff. Trust us. I think that's it for us. Go play some tournaments. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys again next week. Bye.
Cool.
Did you get the payment from Riot for being positive about this terrible change? Oh fuck, I forgot to hit stop.